His parents, desperate for a solution, sought out a rare potion infused with ancient magic on his 50th birthday. A grand feast was held in Prince Roundface's honor. The potion, however, reacted badly with his body, causing him to swell and then explode in a grotesque and horrifying manner. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the heart of Africa, there lived a young man named Prince Roundface. He was the only child in the heir to the throne of the tiny kingdom of Bono. From the moment he came into the world, his parents, the king and queen, doted on him endlessly. Prince Roundface was not just any ordinary baby. He was chubby cheek, with rolls of baby fat that made him irresistibly adorable. His parents couldn't get enough of cuddling and feeding him sweet treat, as Prince Roundface grew from a chubby baby into a toddler. His love for food only seemed to increase. He became known throughout the kingdom for his insatiable appetite and chubby cheeks that earned him his nickname, the King and Queen. Enchanted by their chubby prince, lavished him with all the attention and indulgence a young child could desire when he was old enough to toddle around on his own. Prince Roundface discovered a clever trick he found that if he extended his chubby arms, a servant would quickly scoop him up and carry him wherever he pleased. Walking on his own seemed like too much effort for the prince, who preferred to be chauffeured around the palace. By the time Prince Roundface turned 5, he had become so round that he often got stuck in doorways, if they weren't wide enough, the king doting father, that he was immediately ordered all the entryways in the palace to be expanded. He couldn't bear the thought of his precious prince having to squeeze through tight spaces as Prince Roundface grew older. His parents continued to indulge his every whim. His days were filled with delicious meals prepared by the royal chefs who catered to his every craving. Every morning, he would ring a golden bell that summoned the staff to roll him out of bed and dress him for breakfast. The chefs would then present him with heaping play of bacon, eggs, pancakes, waffles, sausages, and towers of buttered toast, despite the efforts of the tutors who tried to teach him academics and politics. Prince Roundface had zero interest. He would scribble a few half-hearted words before declaring, "I'm tired," and demanding his toys and desserts. Instead, the king and queen, amused by their son's antics, never scolded him for his lack of interest in learning by the time he reached his 10th birthday. Prince Roundface's daily schedule consisted of eating 5 large feasts prepared just for him. In between meals, he would play with his solid gold toy soldiers and horse figurines, refusing to dress or bathe himself. Servants had to carry him from his bedroom to the dining hall and back, as even short distances wore him out quickly as he grew older. Prince Roundface's weight continued to balloon. By the age of 12, he weighed over $300 and the entire palace reray horribly from his poor hygiene. His parents, however, found him utterly charming and endearing. They delighted in caressing his flabby little hands and feet, while the king enjoyed watching him devour pastries with an amused chuckle. Despite his size, Prince Roundface continued to demand more food and indulgence. He grunted instead of speaking often. Spitting out his food with his mouth wide open, the palace became a place of excess, with servants constantly rushing to fulfill the prince's every whim. By the time he turned 16, Prince Roundface weighed nearly $500 and was entirely dependent on teams of servants attending to his every need. He would ring his golden bell incessantly for food to be carried from place to place, to have his greasy hands and mouth wiped, and even to scratch inside his itchy skin. Folds, his parents, realizing their son needed help, tried various healers and remedies, but nothing seemed to work. Acupuncturists, attic practitioners, nutritionists, and therapists all fails to curb his insatiable appetite. The prince's condition only worsened as he grew older, and the once grand palace now bore the marks of neglect and excess by the time he turned 30. Prince Roundface weighed over 700 lb and could barely move. His days were spent being fed by servants, lying in bed and ringing his little golden bell. For every need, his parents, desperate for a solution, sought out a rare potion infused with ancient magic on his 50th birthday, A grand feast was held in Prince Roundface's honor. The potion, however, reacted badly with his body, causing him to swell and then explode in a grotesque and horrifying manner. The room erupted into chaos as horrified guests witnessed the gruesome event. The prince's remains were gathered and discreetly buried on a distant island. His parents, grief-stricken and aged beyond their years, mourned their only child. The kingdom was left without an heir, and the once proud dynasty ended in sorrow and regret. The story of Prince Roundface serves as a cautionary tale of excess and indulgence, leading to a tragic and untimely end. And so the grand palace that once stood as a symbol of wealth and power now lay in ruins, a testament to the consequences of unchecked indulgence. The king and queen, haunted by their son's fate, spent their remaining days in mourning their once vibrant kingdom. Now a shadow of its former glory, years passed, and the memory of Prince Roundface faded into legend. The kingdom was eventually taken over by a distant relative who vowed never to repeat the mistakes of the past. The grand palace was rebuilt. But it stood as a reminder of the prince who had once ruled with such excess and extravagance. And so the tale of Prince Roundface came to an end, a cautionary tale of the dangers of indulgence and excess. The once mighty kingdom of Balluno was forever changed by the tragic fate of its beloved prince. More interesting stories are on the way, so make sure to subscribe my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments below. Thank you for watching.